guys, this is the general reading for Taurus. This is actually the second one I'm doing. This is going to be another soul journey reading. However, it is a lot related to soulmate. Probably a little bit more soulmatey than my other soul journey one. But the only reason I'm doing two is because I did that video like right as it was like transitioning, or the first day after Mercury retrograde. And I don't know if I was in the Taurus energy where it was just really confused and really like I had a hard time communicating and thinking, and it was just a fog. So I just really wanted to do another one to make it a little clearer, and that's just what I was kind of guided to do. So here's the second one. Maybe it's a makeup for November. I don't know. So Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you have significant Taurus in your chart, or if you're just drawn to that, that reading, if you're a cross watcher, also for more of a kind of more complete picture, or if this isn't resonating with you, check out your sun, if this isn't your sun, moon, rising, Venus, anything significant in your chart, or any video that you're just drawn to. Please understand that energies can change. So, this may not happen in December. It may happen in January, February. Energy is fluid. It's also up to free will. I can also read it as you, but it could be somebody else. I could read this as, your life journey or work, and it could be love, or I could read it as love, and it could be work. Just apply it to your life as necessary. Don't make it fit if it doesn't. Some, none, or all of this may apply. If you're interested in my services, or I've been getting emails too about donations, all of that information is in the description box below. So my email address, my PayPal information, and then also about my services, which is always growing because, I'm always learning and growing. I'll be starting in January, shamanic training. So not only to do in person, but also I want to do that also distant, so that if there's anything soul or spirit or anything wise that I can further assist people with healing. Also, if everything goes according to plan in the summer, I'll be learning plant spirit medicine, which you learn through shamanic training as well. So really just trying to get everything together to be able to just mind, body, soul, really be able to help further heal myself and heal others. Anyways, check out the services below if you're interested in any healing services, readings, sessions, anything like that. I'll help you if you need it, but don't just look at my email address and then email me. Like, look at all of it. Almost all the information is provided there in the description box below. But of course, if you email me before that, I will guide you too. It just saves me time. I may not do the love readings for this month just because there's a lot of things I want to get caught up on. I want to make sure I get all the signs of their readings out. I wasn't able to do it like the last 2 months. I don't even know since I've been able to start. It's a very introspective time and a lot of cycle completions. So I really want to make sure that, most of the soul journey part is at least gone out for all the signs. If I have time, I will definitely put out the soul journey or soulmate readings. But if not, I'm going to try to at least get the soul journey readings out for each sign. I kind of would also like to get out to like a year ahead type videos. So definitely make sure that you hit the notification box on the subscribe button. That way, I'll do a video notifying you of those if I do them, so you'll know that they're there and they're available to you. So, of course, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, because I put out different types of videos, not even just for tarot, different types of soul journey, things that I figure out, informational videos, challenge type videos, all types of videos. So make sure you hit the bell when you hit subscribe. Also, please like the video and comment. Let me know your thoughts, your journey, like what's going on with you. Even if I can't always comment back, I always read them, and I really enjoy reading them, syncing with your guys' energy and learning about you guys. Also, just a heads up, I'm also going to do a video on this, but the November special I'm extending to December because of the fact that I wasn't able to get all the readings out, even though I did a video on it. Some people don't always see that, so they weren't able to get, I was going to say in each reading too. So I'm extending it out because it is Christmas, it's the holidays, but also a lot of people like taking advantage of that, and it really helped them. Basically what the special is that if you pay for a live reading of mine in December of 2018, live meaning it'll say live, but phone, Skype, Zoom, in person, anything that's more live, not pre-recorded. You get a free, basically, energy session that is basically either distant holy fire Reiki, archangel healing therapy, or access consciousness bars, which basically like declutters and clears your mind and old programming and all of that. You get like a free 25-30 minute session of that, which is like a $44 value, which you can either use now, you can use later, you can gift it to somebody. Also keep in mind too, for Christmas gifts or whatever, there is buy two. Is it buy two or buy three? Look at my other specials too. I always have 10% off 2 or more services, not including like bundles, which I don't have up yet. And then I think if you buy 3, you get 1 free of equal or lesser value. I don't know. Check out the specials in there. I think that's it. I'm sorry for missing you guys again in November. I think that's it. So let's start with your reading. Sorry about the little intro and all that. So this does kind of really correlate with the other soul journey one I just did, but this one kind of does go more towards the other person or situation. There's kind of other little messages. This really correlates a lot with a lot of the conversation energies that I was picking up in a lot of the Taurus readings. Like I think it was like June or July was a big one. It was like, had like 30-some thousand views. It really correlates with that energy. And then also one that I did in November and December too. They were all pretty much the same. I think the one that I did, the other one I did for this month really was more about, helping your mind frame about all of this, about what Tauruses have really been stuck on. Many Tauruses just have been stuck and it's been driving them crazy. It's like they're just stuck in the birth canal or of a rebirth, like, or just in this hallway, and they're at the door, but they just can't seem to get through the door. And it's because you are being finalized on stuff you have to be built on, and so are other things. Like I actually had a dream about this, but it's still being prepared, but it's coming and it's coming closer. And a lot of Tauruses can really feel that. And they're just like, I'm doing everything, what can I do to move past this? And part of it is to further learn stuff about yourself. Part of it is to learn the patience. And, some of it is just coming to some degree. There's nothing that you can do but continue to work on yourself and build your life in the meantime. Which is, some of it's kind of hard because you're blocks. I understand that. So if you need help with that, let me know. But some of it is just going to be just what it is for right now. But anyways, let's just get started with this. I feel like, just saying this real quick, that this energy does build off of, like I said, the energy in the other reading and the other person. It shows more of that, again, that kind of devil energy within yourself, but also mirroring with this other person. But it does show a little bit more into them besides just, why are you doing this? Is it even what you wanted it to be? So I don't know. Like I said, I'll just get going with it and you'll see they kind of match. They a little contradict, but not really. It's the same. It's just, this goes a little bit more into explaining it. So where you're sitting in the center of your reading is you have the 10 of Cups. And I feel a lot like this is where you're wanting to be. Like this is your aim. And not only is it with, fulfillment and happiness, satiety, however you pronounce that, being like satiated. It's also being like, the difference with this is like they're kind of filling their cups up together, and they're on top of the water, so they're not really drowning in the water. It's like a better balance, and that's what's been coming up a lot for Tauruses too, is like balance. I feel like a lot of the cards that come up for Taurus, especially lately, is the Temperance card, really things about balance. The ideas of like the Strength card, really learning about, but also calming something within yourself. Of course, the Eight of Swords always comes up. It like never, I don't think we've got it in this one, but it usually never fails to come up in a reading for Tauruses usually. What's crossing you though is the Seven of Cups and the Moon reversed. So in this Seven of Cups is a lot about indulging so much in sensual type things that it's literally not good for you anymore. If you look, their cups are not only not being filled, they're just like floating away. They're not even like paid attention to anymore. Like these people are filling them together. They're collected. It's just a healthier, more organized type situation. Where this one, they're so lost in whatever they're doing with each other, they're not even paying attention to their emotions or their cups anymore. And they're literally more like, not drowning in the water, but they're so much more like immersed in their emotions. And I think you're really starting to see that there's an imbalance here, not only with your emotions, but of things that you weren't seeing. But I think mostly with your emotions. I think the Seven of Cups is also very much about confusion, not seeing things really clearly or knowing what you want. A lot about confusion, though. And it's like you are starting to really see the imbalance of that going on within you, of what do I want? Why do I want that? Why is this knocking me so off balance? Like, why don't I have this more within myself? And why am I allowing it to knock me so off balance? Like, why is it so unhealthy for me? Might even be honestly realizing of like addictive type issues, whether you're literally addicted to this situation or person, whether you literally have addictions going on, like real full out like sexual, drug, alcohol, or something like that, or you're just realizing that this pattern very much resembles somebody who has addictive tendencies or addictive patterns. And that there's really something emotionally you're having to deal with. You're either having a hard time expressing your emotions, or there's really something you're seeing that there's something subconsciously, that there's something underneath it all, maybe in your subconscious and your emotions, that is causing you to either overindulge, period, to where it's causing even things that are okay to not be good for you. Anything in abundance or in excess can become not good for you. Even good things. Or that you're partaking in things that already aren't good for you and you're like addicted to them or whatever. But that you're just not happy, you're not satiated. It's throwing you off balance. But to where even this situation, like, why do you need this situation to either make you balanced, or if this situation is around, are you even still not balanced? But either way, you're realizing that you're seeing that something is off. It's either not good for you, period, or you're taking something that should be okay and good for you, and it's becoming not good for you. I mean, because if you look at these people too, like where you're trying to be is like this more balanced, where they're sitting, and they're more healthily doing it. And in this one, they're kind of getting lost in like the lust, the passion of it. I think you're just starting to see the difference in what you're wanting versus what you're going after, or what you've been going after, or allowing, or whatever. In the more distant past, you have the star. So I get quite a few things from this star. Not only do you see here, there's kind of like a pattern thing. So it's seeing your path, but releasing your patterns to be able to get back properly on your path. But I also see too, like she's a mermaid. She's pouring the water back in, the water from the cup back into this body of water. And it's kind of like, I don't really want this anymore. But when I saw this, it also made me think of that movie, I think it was called Splash, like Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks. Maybe it's like an older, maybe 80s movie, I don't know, where she was a mermaid and she didn't carry on water with her, but she needed to be in salt water. You know, she was out of the water for a while and she had legs walking around. She needed to be in like salt water or whatever and do something to her body in order to make her fins come back. But I just saw in this, like, that you're wanting to transform either from whatever this person or situation, seeing maybe how they contributed to who you are right now. Or even if you don't see that, you're still just wanting to transform. And it's like she's putting the water back in and she's starting to like come out of the water in hopes and anticipation, which this is very much a hope card. That, you know, that's actually kind of crazy now I think about that. She gets her legs back. She wants to walk on land again. It's like she doesn't want to be so submersed in this water anymore. She wants to walk on land. But in order to walk on land and walk in a different, which kind of fits what I was saying about things still being prepared before you can walk through the door or come out of the tunnel or whatever. It's like that's why a lot of Tauruses are being held back, is their legs are still being formed, if you will. Like she's needing to get her legs back. Her stance, her footing, her way to move about in this new way and on this new terrain and land. And that's what the foundation of this whole reading is, but also with what she's hoping to do. But in order to do this, she's got to release a lot of pent up emotions, mostly. Even like what's building inside me right now is kind of bittersweet, but it's making me like this feeling like I want to cry. So it's a lot of pent up emotions and stuff that's been held. That it seems like those emotions even were keeping you so submersed in barely, you know, basically almost drowning, like any more submersed and they would be drowning. And it's about letting all those emotions go that were keeping you so weighed down and stuck. Because two cards that really come out a lot during this reading. This is going to be a little bit longer of a reading, just so you guys know, because it is pretty deep. I would recommend staying with it, though. It's a pretty good and pretty, you know, deep reading. Two of the cards that came out like numerous times, and I mean like numerous times, were the Ten of Wands and the Seven of Swords. So there is a lot of weight and oppression, passionately, spiritually, mentally, and even emotionally here going on. I mean, what is the only thing? Like being physically grounded. You don't have a lot of pentacles. I'm not even, I think you literally have maybe one pentacle card. And then you got the Empress, which could represent as you too. Besides that, though, and that's where you see yourself, is the Two of Pentacles. So not even that high of a pentacle. So you're probably feeling just not grounded, not in the way you normally are, but super in your mind, super in your emotions, and so passionate, not even passionate, but like so much so in a heavy, oppressed kind of way, where it's not even benefiting you. And really having to let all of that go, the world as you know it, maybe even people and friends as you knew it. Also, what's also being shown here, I mean, where you are and what's crossing has two people. It's either what you're wanting or not seeing, or that you're not the only one who's feeling like this, like that you're, being stuck or drowning too. There is a lot of mirroring vibes here. In a lot of the things in your mind, it's starting to go singular and alone and independently. A lot of things with this other person it's still together. Whether they're showing that or not, or even knowing that yet or not. But either way, you're really trying to go on your path. I also get from this too, because if you look, this is a Merkaba. So you're also trying to transform into like your light body. And that is one that is burning away all, the blockages and the just oppressions and things that are holding you back. And you're literally like burning that out and rising to like your light body, your higher consciousness, and your light evolved body. And that's what you're wanting to do. That's like your symbology of getting your legs, because she feels stuck. She's like, I no longer want to be in all this water. I don't like the way it feels. Can I just please get my legs? And I mean, we'll go on with the reading, but I do think there's something you're missing. It's a pretty empowering reading for you too, but it's like there's something that you're missing, to where it's like you get it, kind of something you have to do, but you don't at the same time, because I have a feeling that you're trying to leave the emotions behind because you feel like they're bothering you and keeping you stuck. But at the same time, we'll see. I'm not sure on this, but you are going to have to delve back into them in order to see what's in there in your subconscious, and what's really holding you back. I'm just not sure you can do it right now. I mean, dive in. I think what you're doing is what you're supposed to do, because it's giving you balance right now. And it's also leading and preparing for what's to come that's going to help you figure it out, to where it's either going to be the universe or some situation that helps you, or it's literally going to be this same person or situation, or somebody that is either from your past or meant to come back in that you've got to work that little journey with, that is going to help you go into that part of you to see who you are and why you are the way you are, why things are the way they are. They're going to help you. I don't know what help you. They're either going to help you or they're going to cause you, through your guys' interaction that you have to do, to have to walk through that path. So we'll get to that. In your recent past, you have the Hermit, you have the Three of Swords, and you have the Universe. So obviously, you know, we're going in, especially probably within this last Mercury retrograde. I don't know about you guys, but that was really hard on me. That was probably one of the hardest Mercury retrogrades I've ever been through, where it's just, I didn't really want to talk, but yet I had so many ideas going through my mind, so many memories, so many thoughts, so many epiphanies, but then like a contradicting epiphany, wanting to do so many things, but I couldn't. The energy was so heavy. It was like when I was moving around, it was like almost like, I don't know, like the air was molasses, if that makes sense. I don't even know. But it was just so heavy. You know, and then me having to go through my own things and then get certain things done, and it was just, I don't know. So it's very, very, very introspective though. So here's the Hermit energy, where, you know, maybe that had a contributing factor to it, but either way, you're really trying to figure out what is going on inside of me. Why is this like this? I am so done with this Three of Swords energy. I mean, you're just really sitting there and thinking about, like, how do I end this cycle? How do I get over this? Just tell me how to end the cycle. I want to end the cycle. Like, it's like you're yelling to the universe, like, did you hear me? I want to end the cycle. I get it. I get it. I see it. I want to end it. And it's not. It's like you're in front of the door and it needs a key to get through it. And you're just like, I get it. I get it. Can you please just throw me the friggin' key already? Which is actually funny. There's a card somewhere that, yeah. That's funny. I'll get to that, but that's weird. Anyways, there's a key to this. You have to go to that. Anyways, we'll get to that. But so you're like, just throw me the key. Let me get through the door. But it's coming. It's just not quite, you're not quite ready. You're also waiting to, like, this Hermit has an hourglass. So again, like, you're waiting. It's at the crown chakra for information, like how to go. Yeah, exactly, like in your thoughts, like the Eight of Cups. You just want to go. Like, you want to leave these emotions behind. You're tired of delving into them. You've probably, because a lot of Tauruses have been through a lot of stuff, a lot of awakening stuff, dark night of the soul stuff, a lot of internal work, soul journey work, emotional work, and you're just like, I don't want to be in this water anymore, and you're kind of sitting here waiting, like, trying to get out of the emotions and the water and dumping them back out. But at the same time, like, why am I not getting this key to get through this door? I'm not sure. Were you supposed to take yourself out? I think it's like you're tired of treading the water in the emotions. But if you look at this card, it's like they're in the water And yes, they're dealing with the emotions, but if you look, like, she's not really sitting there by herself in emotions. She's with somebody else in these emotions, distracted. So I still feel like there's something in your subconscious or in your emotions that you're not seeing, which is why, one of the reasons, not the only, but one of the reasons why you cannot move forward yet. And you're just, again, like, you're wanting to walk away from the emotions. Like, you're like, I'm done with this. I'm ready for the nine of cups now. But the funny part about that is, if you look, like, the only place he can go if he walks away from all these cups is back, sorry about the glare, is back into the water, back into the ocean. Like, no matter which way he turns, it's the emotions that are being dealt with. I mean, why he doesn't just walk over the cups? Why wouldn't you walk over the cups? You don't want to deal with them. Why would they go over the cups? I think you're not going over the cups because, like, what I mean by that is, why would you go this way towards all the water? Why not just step over the cups and walk towards the other side of the pier? And what first came to me was because you were afraid of them. And then I wanted to know more, and you got the Four of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands reversed. You're trying to avoid them. They make you feel sad, not secure, and they make you feel unbalanced. You don't even want, like, you're like looking at it literally. Like, here's kind of the illusion popping up a little bit. You're literally looking at this situation like your best option is to go towards this big, vast, open ocean of water, body of water, versus dealing with these 8 cups. Like, it's understandable, but it's kind of an illusion a little bit. This is a very heavy card. Since I've picked it up, and it kind of started with the Star too, but since I've picked it up, I literally have this feeling of, like, I don't know, like, just not quite drowning, but there's just this unknown feeling, this fear. I am doing a video too, so I'm going to do it and post these at the same time, but look at my other little video. I mentioned it a lot in my other one I just did for you guys for December about, like, the void, that dark abyss feeling of feeling like you're just going to get, like, sucked into something like the dark abyss and just, you know, go, and it's scary. And that's really the way it feels. Is like it's kind of scary to me. Like, I feel not quite really like scared, but almost like going into like a pit of darkness that you're scared about never coming out of. Like, there is no light. There is no end of the tunnel to it. There is no getting out of it. And that might be like really where you feel stuck right now. There's a sense of anxiety coming in me right now. Hopelessness. A very much of a dark night of the soul type feeling. Very much of a dark night of the soul type feeling. I know exactly what this feels like. Part of me is taking like everything to not like, run out of this and be like, all right, done with this card. Let's move to the next. But let's go off of this though. I'm not running from it, but because I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. This card does a very good job right now of very much describing that darkness feeling that I was talking about, that kind of, I think abyss is the type of right word, and just feeling like you can get sucked away into it and never come back or no longer be in existence. I will say that a lot of that, the way it feels, if you are going through this. I also am going to do a video on Dark Night of the Soul, but depression, suicide. I do get a lot of emails about stuff about suicide. And in a lot of ways, I mean, absolutely make sure you're checking your nutrition and your hormones and, you're seeking medical advice and all that. But a lot of that is your ego feeling like it's going to be changed off or ended, or you can't see yourself outside of what you know. And it's literally about like the strength card like this. This isn't part of your reading. It's something I leave up for myself, but about calming that part of you that's kind of freaking out and is just like, it's okay, yes, the death process, but we're not dying. We're changing, and we're changing for the better. But it's going to be a little bit scary and a little bit like, because you don't know, you don't see it. You don't see what's on the other side, just like a baby coming out of the birth canal. They don't see what they're going through. It's dark in there, and it's tight, and it's scary, and there's a bunch of sensations that they're feeling and emotions that they're feeling, and they're being taken from their comfort zone. Their comfort zone that at one time benefited them and nourished them and allowed them to grow. But that no longer does. If they stayed in there, they would die. Somebody would die. Or both would die. That cycle is over. That doesn't mean that that baby coming out is not scared and is like, what the heck is going on? They're going from, all these sensations, and all these chemicals are going to make all these reactions happen. And they're going from, wet warmth to dry cold, and shivering, and voices and things pulling on them, and seeing things they've never seen before. So, which kind of correlates to my last reading. you know, it just could be you going into a different type of reality or dimension or timeline or just a rebirth in the 3D life. But you could very well be going through a third eye activation, crown chakra activation, to where you're feeling, seeing, and experiencing things you never have before, or you kind of did a little bit before. I know with me, I feel like with my awakening that I had, mine went to about right here. I've still got some stuff right here to work on. Probably everything, actually, but I could feel it, especially with the way the warmth was shot up and down my back before it would about stop, like right here. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I know that it has to go the rest of the way. So as I'm describing that, it's making me feel kind of like, and that was confirmed a lot in the other reading I did for this month, was third eye and crown activations. Heart too, but basically it going the rest of the way. Normally when you have that type of energy, whether it's a Kundalini rise or activation or whatever, it's got to go up and then it's got to finish going all the way, either shoots all the way through or it stops and then goes again, and then it's got to find its way, and then you've got to bring it back down. Crap. And then ground it. Hold on. Okay. And then ground it back down. But anyways, you do find your way out. So if you're watching this reading, either before, maybe and after, but especially during this going on, and there are so many things that, not even in the other reading, but confirm this one, and I've been picking up on a lot, is like the awakening of the Taurus is coming again. It does bring you where you want to go. It does benefit you. Because in your likely future, you know, you end up the Empress card. And your likely outcome very much correlates with this. And there's so many things here too about fertility. So either you might get pregnant or you are pregnant, or there is just so much creation and nurturing and abundance going on within you now in this cycle of life. Because there literally is a lot of things about pregnancy and nurturing and creation, not only within yourself and to yourself, but also within the earth, like the very earthly vibes. So again, like here's your grounding coming in. So if you're not feeling grounded now, you will be. I mean, you could even notice like these trees are like supporting her and creating her own, like she's in another womb, but instead of being in like the metaphoric womb, you know, you start out in the human womb and you come out, right now you're in like the etheric, you know, womb for a minute. And then when you come back out, like you're now going to be at one with nature and feeling the interconnectedness of it all. And now nature, like you're in the womb of nature. You know, it's kind of beautiful, actually. Like she looks like she's sitting in a womb right now. And then she's got like a womb in her, like as above, so below. And you see that and you feel that. And it really eases a lot of your fears and brings you a level of just nurturing and calmness and a sense of satiation and belonging and completeness like you've never felt before. And in a way that you don't have to fear or run from things. The Empress, though, didn't get to be the Empress by just being born that way and, oh, she's an Empress, and then she's complete with that. The Empress and the Emperor both had to go through their things and learn their share of things to have to gain that level of security and abundance and intuition and experience and all of the things in order to find a way to create that vibration within them to now radiate it outwardly. that comes through experience, intuition and listening and guidance and all that, yes, but experience. And so if one thing helps you get through this time, let it be known not only that you do find the light on the way out, you find that door or you get the key to that door, but that this is just merely you going through more of that birth canal, and it's the experiences that push you through that. It's almost like, you know, all those things that the hormones and the body movements and all the things that push the baby through. It's these experiences that you don't know what's going on or why they're happening or how you're going to get through them. But just have faith that you are and you're being guided, and listen to yourself, because it's those things, those same things that you're getting sad about, that you're fearing, that you're building resentment about, that you're losing hope about, that are getting you to this, that are showing you who you are, that are showing you what you're made of, that are showing you how strong you are, that are showing you who you are, who you really are, who you are, not who you and this person or this situation are, who you are. You and you alone. Yes, you're connected, everything's connected, but you know who you are. You have a better sense of you. And that's another reason why this star card is in your foundation, because this whole process, oh, I just gated all over myself. But this whole situation is teaching you how to get your legs back. It's teaching you how to get on your path and become and find out who you are, and to release all these old patterns, and how to ascend and become in your light body. But it's also reminding you to have hope and faith during that. I mean, that's a lot of what the star is about, is hope and faith, guidance, your path. Knowing that even though you feel like everything is wrong and it's not going right and you don't know what to do and you have just a loss of hope and despair and do not know how to get out, know that you will get out when you're supposed to get out. And that maybe you just have to be, and not run from it or avoid it for a minute. That maybe even you have to see all of this without the possibility of this person or situation in your mind. Because maybe that's what was wrong with when you went through that darkness or that emotion before. Yes, you were grabbing on for yourself too, but it's almost like you were trying to grab on for them and not only keep them there, but use them as a life buoy, if that's the right word, for yourself. But also so much so where, because the idea or the theory of them saved you in some way, if that even makes sense, it allowed enough of a distraction to where you couldn't really see. It was an illusion, like the Seven of Cups and the Moon reversed. It's you seeing the illusion of not being able to see yourself, because all you can think about is this other person or situation or something else that's distracting you that at this point is not healthy for you. And you having to go at this in your mind alone to relearn who you are. Both of these, I mean, you have the Hermit too, which is about that self journey, but both of these are about going on that self journey. The Eight of Cups, walking away, going on that spiritual self journey to find that fulfillment within yourself. The Star, your self journey, your path, your guidance. This is in your conscious and your subconscious. So, pretty aligned, actually. So as lost as you might feel, it's like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And that it is leading you to the Empress. You being the Empress. Could lead you to an Empress as well. But I do feel like this is your energy. Before we get into, you know, the other part of the reading, like how you see yourself and all of that, the energy on the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords and the Strength. Again, you have the Ten of Wands. Again, you have the Seven of Swords. So, but this Queen of Swords, the vibe I'm getting from this is this mask that she's holding is hers. I think that's a part of a lot of what like Tauruses went through in the first part of their awakening, was seeing other people's masks. And although they saw their own too, they didn't see all of it. Part of it was blocked. And I really feel that this is you kind of seeing and letting go of a part of yourself that is within you. You know, you're going to have strength, you know, to get through it, but that it's a part of you that does need love and stuff, but it's kind of this Ten of Wands and Seven of Swords vibe. Like, so much that you're carrying. Like, what are you carrying? What are you deceiving yourself? And I can't say in this, I mean, it's a general reading, so I'm not even going to try to, like, wind this down more. Or maybe I will, who knows. Or sometimes when I say I'm not, I end up doing it. But there's so much spiritually and energetically and mentally that you are carrying around. And that also just feels like you're done. It's like you don't even remember who you are. You don't even remember your will. Like, you don't even remember your fight. Even though you always come up, it's the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands. Like, part of you is also done or just deceiving yourself. And I think that's another reason why, you know, your mind is always on this type of thing, is because you think this type of thing is what will bring, like, your mojo, for lack of better words, back. But it's not real. It's not an illusion. And then you also have the Devil card came up, which is also in the other reading that I did. And so I wanted to know, you know, what exactly that was about. And I picked up the card and saw it was under there. So here's the Devil card. And you have the Hangman, like, seeing things from a different perspective. Finding you. Like, something is going on with a lot of Taurus's perspectives right now about not only not seeing yourself, not finding your own energy, like maybe even some other energy like has your heart. You either gave it away or allowed it to be taken from you. Allowing yourself to stay prisoner, but not even like seeing yourself in the process. But it is all within your power, like you're just not seeing it. Okay. Another thing I was thinking of too, actually with this 8 of Cups, is that you may be feeling why you're also walking towards all these, is that you have to leave this behind, which is basically what you're trying to build this up to, because you know it's not going to get you where you want to be. You might actually make the conscious decision to actually go back into, sorry about the glare, into this darkness. Like consciously make the choice to go into this darkness. Because every time I start to get into this, it brings up, I don't know if it's your guys' fears or mine too, but it brings up a lot of stuff. I'm sure you guys can relate. But you also know that as much as you don't want to go back to that, or go to that, if you know what I'm talking about, you can't stay where you are right now. Or like I said, when I was talking about the, something worked at one time, but if you stayed there, like you would die. Like, you literally can't keep living the way you're living. You can't stay stuck where you are. You're literally stuck right now. And if you stay stuck like that, more than likely that will manifest into a physical form. In case you guys don't know that, it all starts on a spiritual level. And whether you know that or not, something is telling you inside possibly that I've got to go back and face this. Because I can't stay where I am right now. And in here is where you find your key. That leads you here. I mean, and it just saying that, you made it through once. You did find the light. I mean, you didn't find quite this, but in a way, you were given a break. But you know what I'm saying. Where you see yourself is you have the 2 of Pentacles. So you are trying to stay balanced. But you're trying to stay balanced as you can through all this change. You're trying to find the light. It's like everything in this person's situation is just stripped bare. You're trying to remain balanced and stay positive and see the light as much as you can through just not knowing what's going on, things that you've worked for being taken away, not being happy, not feeling secure, feeling anxiety, feeling conflict, sadness. I mean, in all your cards, though, I mean, it does show it leads to good stuff, but I mean, think of everything a Taurus normally feels. I mean, they've evolved, but what a Taurus normally feels through change. You know, they feel insecure, whatever. They're usually not happy campers. They're anxious. They're fearful. And let's be honest, you know, you are Scorpio's opposite sign, so it's very easy for a Taurus to go really into a fear-based or negative way of looking at things. And so I think you're trying to look at things positively, but that you're looking at all the things you don't have. You're looking at the negative side of things, the fear-based sides, what you don't have, what's being taken away. And you're trying to remain balanced while looking at things this way. But that's also part of the thing too that you're supposed to learn, I think, through this is like, this is your perception. There's also very much here about, you know, your solar plexus and your sacral chakra too. So confidence, self-esteem, that will, trying to find that will to go on, the confidence, the self-esteem, creation. What can I create with what I have around me? Who am I while still having nothing around me? Am I still the same? Am I still as valuable? Am I still as strong? Am I still as powerful, even though everything has been taken away from me? Can I still find the beauty in this world and be grateful for what I have, even though my eyes see nothing? Can I find it within me? Which is probably where it's going to lead you, is finding it within you, and then once you find it within you, you get it. As a, like, it is like I said, but didn't I say that here with the womb? Like, here's the womb, as above, so below. It's really going to teach you to find really that inner stuff. Like, you're really going to have to be digging deep during this and finding a lot of lessons. And finding the core of who you are and what's important to you and the interconnectedness of it all. And that everything's an illusion. I mean, it's almost like I get this vibe. I really hope people are sticking with me through this, because this is a pretty, like, significant reading, especially for Tauruses. But I really get this vibe that there's something going on here like this, where it's like, this is what you're seeing and what you're feeling like you're going through. And like, this is the reality of the situation you're not seeing. And this whole journey of where it's going to take you through is going to allow the part of the awakening, the biggest part of the awakening. Are you ready? What your key is going to show you when you open the door is going to be that you've been sitting here all along. And that your perception had you sitting here. That you didn't realize what you really had in your life. That you didn't really realize who you really were. Your value. Your blessings. Your worth. Your capabilities. Your strengths. What magic and energy and divineness that you come from. One that is so much so, why would you ever think that you were here? it's almost like that awakening like just happens where it's like you're like, what was I thinking? How many years were you sitting like this, feeling like you were trying to remain balanced? And it was always dark, but you were just trying to get this light up when all you were surrounded by was light and you saw nothing around you. But it was like this all along. But that's all you had to do was open your eyes and see it. All you had to do was allow that reality to come in. Again, though, why would you not? What prevents this perception? Okay, so some things might literally be you, but I'm getting this really strong feeling, and I'm getting chills all along me too. There is some karma being played out here. Like this has to happen. It's not just that there's a block. There is blocks, but it's not just a block. That there's so much of this reading that makes me want to cry. Like either there's so many things to be released, or like it's so beautiful, or there's like, it's just, it's not even a sadness thing. It's like, it's overwhelming. It's almost like, have you ever experienced one of those so like beautiful spiritual moments, or a love or something that was just so overwhelming that you just lose control? Like crying is kind of a way of losing control in a way, which is funny because actually there's another card somewhere in here about coming so close to ecstasy, whether spiritual or in the 3D, of losing control. This is a crazy reading. I'm not going to say it's the only reason, but one of the biggest reasons why you're meant to not see this perception yet was because it was either a balancing in karma or it was a lesson you had to learn. And it wasn't time yet. Like it was very much about divine timing. And you had to go through this. To either learn the lesson or balance the scales. I mean, there's so much here about karma. You've got like, you might as well have the Justice card sitting right here. You know, the Six of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. So divine timing and karma. Balancing of the scales. Lessons. This is a huge lesson. So that's a big reason that it was prevented. Like it's something you either signed up for in this or a gift or whatever. So keep pushing through, Tauruses. Do not give up. Like this is all what's supposed to be happening. You were made to get through it. It's not a lack on your part that you didn't. Yes, there's blocks still to work through. You will be working through them. You can have assistance to them. If you need help, let me know. But a huge part of this, in addition to your blocks, is this was also meant to be. Like, you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Just saying. All right. Now into my mess of cards. A lot of people are like, let me see the cards. Well, actually not. Most people don't ask, actually. But the thing is, most of the time with the way I have the cards, you may not even know. Like, because it's like, Have you ever seen those people that have, I mean, my desk is clean when I'm not doing stuff, but they have like a mess that only they understand. It's their order. Well, that's kind of the way it is. So let me clear this off a little. So what's in your environment or how others see you? And then like halfway through, like most of the time I'll put it as one, but I'm like, you know what? Let me see what's in your environment and let me see how others see you, or at least whatever is significant coming up that sees you. And so the first thing that came up, it could be on its own or it could be them seeing with you too, is the Six of Swords reversed. So either not coming towards them, not coming to see them, not talking to them, but not mentally moving on. That, on one hand, I do get them as also seeing you in that way, but I think it's also them. I think it's the whole situation. How they do see you, what specifically came up for that, is the Princess of Pentacles, so the Page of Pentacles. So not only are you trying to ground yourself, but you're, you know, again, she's got like this creative kind of pregnant belly vibe. But where you're trying to create things. You're trying to create a new path. You're trying to grow. Like, here's you, nothing's here, and now there is. You've created something. You've created, at the very least at this point, you're at the beginning stage of it because it's a page, flowers and grass, and a pentacle. Like your creation. She has a little pregnant belly looking, she's creating. So they see you on this, the start of your creative new journey, maybe learning new things, entrepreneur type things, maybe a business. Either way, you're trying to manifest new things into like your reality, your whatever. But they may also see you at the same time in the middle of creating, you're not, like that you're mentally stuck. You're not moving on, which they're accurate in some ways. In some ways you have moved on, but there's something really sticking you. So what's in your environment is like a lot of cards came up. And you have the Ace of Wands. You have the Seven of Wands. You have the Five of Wands. And then below that, so here's all wands. There's a whole lot of fire, passion, intensity, you know, just action stuff. It's all wands. And then in the next column under, which is the same category, you have the King of Cups, you have the Prince of Wands, you have the Sun, and you have the Six of Cups. So this is where I pulled a lot of cards on. I don't know if I'm not sure if I'm gonna go through all of them. I'm usually pretty good at finding where I want to go through my channeling, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do all the cards I pulled now or finish it out and come back to it. We'll see how it works out. But it really started to stump me a little bit because, you know, you're pretty adamant about what you needed to do and to like walk away from this. But it kind of says otherwise. So, like I said, this is a little bit longer of a video. So whoever is on these deep journeys, I hope will appreciate this video because I know I would if I was watching this with what I'm going through, but if not, it's whatever. Tell me about the Ace of Wands. What starts the Ace of Wands? So really somebody with a fire type energy. You have the Emperor. Somebody you're seeing as your other half or your divine counterpart. Because you have all these wands. You have the Prince of Wands. This Emperor, who clearly, even through a lot of the other cards, I think something's going on with them too. I don't know if they're learning stuff. I don't know if they're marrying you. I don't know if they're getting stuff too and they're just not telling you. You know, the Emperor doesn't really say a whole lot. Doesn't take a lot of action, but does when he needs to. But he's also about building and growing at the same time. His empire. Could be seen as a father figure, either your father or he could be a father. Or just have that kind of fatherly vibe. I guess could be kind of, you know, strict and controlling a little bit, but very good at, he could also be kind of in a very boss or managerial or I can't think of the right word, like guiding people what to do in a delegating, like a boss or a manager or a supervisor or something like that type role. Show me one more card for this Ace of Wands. What causes the Ace of Wands, please? So you have the Tower as the other card. So they come in, either you or they, but it looks like they. Somebody comes in and takes control of the situation. They start something new. Can you tell me what this tower could be? They become single. Or they're saying they're single. But what is this? Can you tell me one more card about this? So they're coming in with the Ten of Cups, which is where you're sitting too. Tell me about the Ten of Cups. They could be anxious about it, that they want the same thing as you. Or that, you know, they're now anxious. Whatever situation they have been in, whether it was you or another situation, something's happening that they're anxious about with it. They're telling you about it. But either way, we don't need to go too far into that. They're anxious about something either with you or another situation or both. And they're coming in with some type of energy. They're trying to start something, say something, whether it's to fight, whether it's to start, I don't know. I get a vibe with this that it's a whole slew of emotions and actions. And they either may be defending themselves, or you may really be defending yourself, or you both may be really defending yourself. Because there's a lot of like emotional stuff. There's a lot of stuff you're not seeing. You might both see each other in a way that you have to defend yourself from each other. Which is why this is crossing with this Seven of Cups and the Moon reversed. Because you guys haven't seen it yet. You're probably both going to cause each other, like perception changes or awakenings. But you're both defensive, and I feel like there's a lot of either competition or arguing. Tell me about the Five of Wands, please. So just like what's crossing you, where you have the Seven of Cups and the Moon, like the Seven of Cups and the Moon just came up for different cards, but with the Five of Wands, you have the Four of Wands and the Seven of Cups. I think that you're both kind of going to be going against each other and opposing kind of energies, because you both may want, or you see things differently. Like what you want is different things. The way you see things is differently. There's a lot of things you guys are not seeing. You're defensive and you're both trying to like show your points of view and the way you see things, and not realizing like what you both want. Just to put this out there, what you both want is stability, is a stronger foundation, like happiness, a building of a structure, celebration, like good things. But there's illusions based around this, and I think your guys' viewpoints and perceptions are conflicting, and that's causing the Five of Wands energy, and there's only like 2 people in this one. And there's also 1 stick. It's almost like, here's the truth. I don't know if you could see it. Like he has a stick here and a stick here. He has a stick here and here. But these 2 sticks are holding the stick that nobody's holding. But they're trying to like balance that 1 stick. And it's like either who's going to win that extra stick, or that's the truth. Like the truth that you guys aren't seeing. Like neither one of you have a handle on it. You both have 2 other sticks, but there's one that's afloat that neither one is holding, and that's the truth that you guys aren't seeing. But I think something does cause this to be seen, which is by one or both of you guys taking action, which is why it causes the Tower. Tell me about the King of Cups. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio, just saying, because the King of Cups could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but for me, mostly, I mean, it could be any of them, but for me, mostly it's Scorpio. Also, you have the Death card, Scorpio, Tower card, Scorpio. The Moon also, to me, a lot of times could be Scorpio. I know it's mostly Pisces or Cancer, but Scorpio also deals with, like, the unknown, the subconscious, secrets, all that. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio, but... or anybody. It doesn't matter. But they might be having an ending to a marriage. Or tell me a little bit more about the King of Cups. They could be moving on from you or not want to deal with you. That is a possibility. They could be like, okay, you know what? Sayonara kind of thing. I don't really get that. I think it might actually eventually get to that, because there's going to be some highs and lows to this journey of conversation over a period of time. What I more get is, like how I said, it came up that they were single. This Emperor guy, who has a lot of Scorpio vibes going on, might have like recently or at some point became single from whatever family life he had going on. He's a little anxious about that too. But that's clarifying the Ace of Wands. And then this Death with King of Cups. You have the Ace of Wands again. And you have the Two of Wands. So something that once, you know, he was stuck in, he's wanting to expand beyond. And either go see the world go afar, check out his other options. He is holding the World, and in your recent past, you also have the World. I feel like he's really bringing a lot of emotional stuff your way. Not even necessarily in a bad way. He is coming up as the King of Cups. So, I guess somewhat in a very balanced way. He may be holding some stuff back too. Let's face it, this is a Scorpio energy. For 2, he is coming up as the Emperor vibe. And for 3, he's holding a cup where he's showing it, but it has a crab. And crabs, you know, they're like there, but they hold back as well. Either way, I do feel like he's really rushing in though, or maybe not even rushing in. Yeah, you got the Knight of Wands, so kind of rushing in. And really just bringing the way he feels. Tell me about how he feels. And then he's got the Hermit. You have the Hermit in your recent past. But the way he feels, where he may really be like, either you're his path, or he's really had to go in and think about it. Maybe he wants to fight for you, but maybe he had to go in and think about some stuff, and he wants to defend himself. Maybe he wants to defend himself to you. And either really let you know some things he's been thinking, whether good or bad. Could be different for different people. Maybe about a new beginning. So even if he's coming at you in a harsh kind of way, I mean, obviously, like, let's not make it abusive. But he's really been weighing out things in his mind. Trying to defend certain things. He's had a lot of things. So he's really had to go within. This is a lot of whatever's going on, whether he says it or not. He's really had to go within and think about, what does he want? What is best for him? What's on his journey? What is aligned with who he is currently and who he really is, maybe even outside of what he thought he wanted. You know, he seems like he's going through a transition too, which makes sense if it is a Scorpio, because they are Taurus's opposite sign. So if Tauruses are going through all this, really, it's kind of slim that Scorpios aren't. It's an opposing energy, especially since Uranus was and is coming back into Taurus. Scorpio is going to be experiencing that as well. But that they've been going through a self journey and transformation too. Chances are, if they're a Scorpio, you're not going to know it. Or if they have that energy, unless you're just intuitively picking it up anyways. But they've really had to go within, and they've had a lot of things. Like, I look at these sticks, like, there's a lot of things they've had to deal with. They've been having to deal with and fighting off a lot of stuff, battling a lot of people, defending themselves to a lot of people. And so they've really had to go in and weigh things out and kind of balance and decide also what they want. Like, they're trying to balance through a lot of things that are kind of mentally and a little bit heartbreaking for them. They might have even had a lot of things that were stripped away, which kind of matches up to what I was saying about they might be recently single. Could be family, but it could just be being with somebody too. So you're having a lot of marrying cards, because you have, you know, here's them. They've been in the Two of Pentacles. Cleared slate. Here's you, Two of Pentacles, cleared slate. Also looking at things kind of in the worst way, maybe. You know, same thing, not being able to see what's really around them. In the same kind of fear-based mentality. They're probably looking at things in the same way, which is why both of you guys are coming up with the Seven of Wands and Five of Wands energy, that whole battling defensive energy. You also have the Hermit and the Hermit. And so it may or may not be about you. They may want to just move forward with you. Two of Cups, Ace of Cups, the Chariot. Telling you the truth, King of Swords, about Ace of Pentacles, new beginning. They don't want to focus on what they lost. There's you, balance. So I don't know what else besides that. Like, I don't know if they're just going to tell you what's going on. I don't know. I really get this vibe. That, yeah, they're going to bring themselves to you emotionally, but I more get this, like, that they're just going to talk to you now and share things that are going on with them. I don't think they're going to come in with this, like, huge display of emotions. I'm not sure if Scorpios ever really do that anyways. Like, sometimes they might do it through, like, an intense emotion in another way, but they're usually not, in my experience, like, really lovey-dovey. At least not the men. It's usually shown in other ways. So they may just now be more open to talking about what's going on with them. What's this emotion that's coming out? So it could be about them leaving whoever they were with, someone leaving them, or they could also be showing a little bit of dissatisfaction in the fact that you walked away, or they could be trying to walk away from you. I don't get that as much, but maybe. Because they are coming up as the Emperor. So whoever they were with, just as a thing, this could be some other person. It could also be you. It could literally be both. I really, really get that they're going to mostly be talking to you about what's been going on with them. They are going to be holding some stuff back, so let's not forget that. You know, there is the crab in the cup. Which is whatever. It's okay. But I do think that whether they outright say it or if you're just paying attention, you're going to see, you know, a little bit of their hard feelings possibly towards you too. But that doesn't matter. Show me about the Prince of Wands. But they're coming to you like with a quickness, passion and emotional. I feel like it's mostly talking, but they want an ending of an old way. I think they have an ending also going on in their environment. Whether it includes you or is not including you, it's going to be different for different people. They want an ending of an old way in a cycle, though. But either way, they're coming to you, and I think they want some type of union and new start. I'm not sure if they're not fully completely ready, just so you know. I do think their intentions are possibly pretty true. I'm not totally sure. Let me pull up some of these other cards. Pretty sure I'll remember what they say. I think their intentions for the most part are good. I just also think that there's so many there's cycles here that even though you guys see it, you're gonna have to work out of. And I think it might take between this interaction between the two of you for a while to help work yourselves out of it. What is this King of Cups intention? I think at this point, they just want to speak their truth. Like, it's just been building inside of them, and there's just things they want to say, and now they're ready to say it. For whatever reason that they were holding back before, they're not now. There's things they want to say to you as the Hierophant, but also maybe even if they were involved like in a marriage or whatever, they were kind of guarding themselves off. They might have been going through a divorce and we're really working on maintaining like their work and stability. There was just a lot of endings of cycles. Why couldn't they tell you before? I mean, I do get a little bit because there might be a little bit of manipulation also involved, but I mean, the King of Cups came up when I said that. So, I mean, it's another reiteration. For one, because they're a Scorpio, and that's what Scorpios do. Nothing bad against them. They were going through stuff. They didn't want to share it at that time. They probably didn't see a need for it. So if they don't see a need for it, they're not going to do it. It's really either got to benefit them or have some use or whatever. What is the benefit in telling you now? Because they're trying to bring you an offer of some type of love, whether it's friendship, whether it's an apology. Now, I will say some of these are, I'm not sure their intentions, and I do think it'll grow, but, you know, it's kind of like they popped up and then they switched to go to reverse. So, what about the Knight of Cups? They want a new beginning, and they may be like exploring to see where it goes with you. This is one of those things, and there's so many things about it, and that's why this is a long video, so sucks for the people who can't hang on with this, but I don't know how to make this faster. But some of the things they're going to do is going to come up or seem manipulative. And that's for two reasons. For one, you have healing that you have to go through. You're going to have a slightly tainted perception of this person, especially if it's somebody from your past. Because there's things that you're going to have to heal and go through. I feel that you both are, in order to see things differently. Because you're both so going to be, I mean, come on now, especially if you are a Taurus and a Scorpio, like, you're two of the fixed signs, you're the most intense of the fixed signs, which means you're like, really just being in their ways. What's helping you, I think, is that you both are going through transformative things. What's sort of going to hinder that a little bit at first is that you both have wounds possibly from each other, and this person might also have some recently that they're holding. So hopefully they're not projecting that onto you. There is a possibility for that. So not only in the way you're seeing things, but the fact that this person also, like, you don't just see things and then all of a sudden that's gone. It takes you a little while to work out of that. When you have a perception and certain things, it's ingrained in so many things, which actually shows in your cards also that we'll get to, that you don't know exactly how much of what you do affects so many areas of your life. So it's a process, you know, that you're going to have to come in and weed that stuff out. I feel like this person is somewhat a little bit more now aware that they're really trying to look at that and pull that stuff back. But it doesn't happen overnight. And it's work. And it's hard. I mean, you have two of the most, in a lot of ways, amazing but difficult signs to work with. If this is a Scorpio, if not, they've got a Scorpio energy. So, it is what it is, but it's hard. You know, it's really hard, you know, and that's why, you know, they didn't say anything. They didn't see a point in it before. They also weren't sure about it before. It wasn't ready. It didn't fit into their plans. It didn't suit them at the time. So whether they had plans going or not at that time, it didn't fit into it. It would have complicated things. It didn't fit into the master plan, and it wasn't what they needed at the moment. So it just, that's the way I went. And now there is something they want, possibly. Or at least they're more open or available to it, or maybe not as burdened, I don't know. Tell me about the Sun card. So, again, the Hierophant comes up. So, I think they're wanting some type of new beginning, maybe commitment or whatever with you. Again, I want to reiterate, there is still healing here that has to be done. There is still fear-based mentalities, both on their part and your part here. This is a squashing of an old and a re-getting together of the new, in whatever form that takes, if it does. It can't be rushed. They're coming in, possibly seeing you as their 10 of Cups or a possible 10 of Cups. Their energy underneath it is the 9 of Swords, 5 of Swords, and the 9 of Wands. This is not a great energy. This is a very fear-based, defensive, anxious, worried, having to always win, always having to have control, flighty, in the moment, not a grounded energy. They may be even looking to you for grounding and stability. Yeah, like a new grounded beginning. Exactly like what you're... I think also there is a part of them that they see what you're trying to build, or they see that you're building too, and they're like, yeah, I want to build too, or they see where it can benefit them, or maybe they like that part of you. But I think they also see your grounded side, and, you know, they want to be grounded too, especially after everything that they just went through. You know, they're going through, like how you've been going through your own journey, so are they. Whoever this person is really mirrors you. So I don't know if they're like really just supposed to be on your path, if they're your divine masculine, if they're your like twin flame, some type of spiritual soulmate, if it's just a really strong contract. Doesn't mean whether together or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, but they're mirroring you. And so in so many ways, and there's something why you're supposed to be in their life and why they're supposed to be in yours. Tell me about the 6 of Cups, even for a short little minute. So for the Six of Cups, I do think they think you're a soulmate, or you're possibly a soulmate. Again, it could be, you know, because of something from the past. Maybe they remember it being a good time, or that it may work. Maybe wanting to do it right this time. There may still be other people. I do think they're still a little bit conflicted about the way they feel and what they really want. Or they were before, and now that they've gone within, now they know what they want. Or at least they think they know what they want. But I have to say, I'm not sure if they do. I think they do. I think they think it's a pretty good bet. But they still don't really know who they are yet. They haven't really healed. So I'm just saying, like, you may want it before you take this risk again. Like, really, this is something to go at slowly. And I don't know, when I ask kind of for more clarification on what you should do with it, you have the Flowers card, you have the Moon card, and you have the Bear card. Like, all of these are like good cards, going within and waiting for some senior emotions, but things becoming stronger and better in strength. Like, you also see the progression in looking at these cards on it becoming stronger and good. I don't even know if this is fully what this person planned, or if they went in thinking one thing and something else comes out of it, or if they did plan on this but for other reasons, and then based on your interaction, like, it does end up growing to that anyways. But you then have also the Ace of Pentacles, the Way, Pray card, the Fool, new possibilities. So, new beginning. You know, new beginning that could be either brought to you or guided or whatever from above. Or at the very least, someone has either been, that you've been praying for, they've been praying for, or that was in your contract or whatever. But taking a risk on this possibility. And then you have the Magician, and again, the Prince of Wands. You have a lot of Knight of Wands energies coming up. And then you have the Ten of Swords. So this could be the end of heartbreak. It could be the end of a cycle of this type of thinking. There may be a part in here too, though, where you have to see, yeah, this person is coming at you from a new beginning, but they may still have some of their old ways still there that they haven't healed from. Or it's your job to stand up for yourself and pop into your Empress energy and show this person how you want to be treated. Maybe they don't know how you want to be treated. Maybe they don't know who you really are right now, because they may not have been around you since you've been growing, and you haven't been around them since they've been growing to do whatever they've been doing. And you have to put an end to that cycle. Maybe even some of their ways. Like, I get that this is something that could very well work out positively. But it's going to take time. It's going to take work. It's going to take work even on your part. Your inner demons as well as theirs. Speaking your truth, yet listening. Knowing when to act, but also when to be in the receptive mode. And to do your own thing and not get lost in it. And knowing that if you're even starting to get lost in it and lose yourself, that you have to know when to pull back and go find yourself again. Because I have a feeling that at one time before, you lost yourself. This person might have too, but you definitely did. which may have contributed to this person with whatever happened. But either way, I really get this vibe about you not losing yourself with it for whatever that means for you, however long that takes for you. Listening to yourself always. If it's not good and it's doing like not great things, then you just don't mess with it. But there's something about dealing with this person and going through a lot of the hardships with that. And I don't mean working through just hardships. I mean like taking everything you've learned about boundaries and self-respect and red flags and what you've been learning and how you want to be treated and this and that. And what do you want? What don't you want? Letting go of expectation, whatever it turns out to be, whatever, all that stuff. It's like putting it to action and not running from it. But it's really going to trigger and work through a lot of your things. Like, I have a feeling this person can trigger you like no other. And I think one of the reasons, which I didn't really think of till now, why this person may trigger you so much, and you may even trigger them, is, you know, with the Empress and the Emperor coming up, they may be somebody who brings up like father issues for you, or father type wounds, or remind you of your father, and you might do the same for them, like remind them of some things of their mother or mother wounds or something like that. But either way, you guys, I think probably really do trigger each other, almost in a way where there's this draw, a very strong draw that's either like no other, or it's just a very strong draw, but there's also this repulsion at the same time. Very much what's described of like a twin flame type journey, also karmic. It doesn't matter on the label, because really all of them have it except for like your really like smooth soulmate type ones. So what's in your hopes and your fears is, now that we're off all that big whole thing, is you have the Four of Cups and you have the Five of Swords. I think you like just, you want to just be done with it. Like, you're just really looking at these emotions and you're like, Like, I almost got this vibe when I was first looking at it. Like, she's sitting here with these Three of Cups, ignoring this cup that's hanging up here, that's full of emotion, you know, water or whatever. And she's just sitting here dwelling on these three cups. And, but the vibe I got from it when I was looking at it and holding it earlier was like this one that is now looking at it like, here's these Three of Swords that were in her heart in your recent past. And it's like you're looking at these Three of Cups as the remainder of that. Like, it may or may not be in your mind anymore, or maybe it is still in your mind, because, I mean, it was your recent past that it was there too. But where you're seeing where emotionally, you don't want it there anymore. You know, like, you're seeing it for what it is. You're just kind of like, I don't want to hold on to you anymore. I don't want you to hold me back anymore. Like, do I need you anymore? Not necessarily this person, but these emotions from this hurt. Because she's holding like the Three Cups. And really wanting to put an end to it, and the mental part of it. Also, I kind of get with it, there may be a part of you, like how she has two swords, but there's the three swords on him. Like, he's kind of down, he's out. You might have, like, literally want to take these same three heart swords that your perception viewed as he pierced your heart with. As being like, oh, by the way, you can have these back. And you didn't quite stab him. You're not that ruthless. You know what I mean? Like, you definitely kind of scare the crap out of him. You know, I don't know. But this is your hopes and fears. It's not what you're gonna, what you do. But or maybe you're looking at these emotions like, why am I holding on to this? And it's because you want a little bit of revenge. Like, you felt defeated and you want him to feel defeated. You want to have the upper hand. Yeah, like, she's definitely in this Four of Cups energy. Like, she's definitely weighing some stuff out. Really, the whole emotional thing of it, the whole, who am I? Do I want this? Do I want to start something new, go to a different direction? I've put so much time into this. What direction do I go? Like, you've really just wanted to pull back and just really think and look over things. Tell me about the Five of Swords. I don't know. Maybe there is a part of you that wants him to feel the way you felt. See, maybe. I don't really get that. I don't really get with a lot of Tauruses that they have that kind of like vengeful vibe. I don't think that you want them to feel how you felt. Like as far as you causing it to them. Because I think, honestly, that would hurt a Taurus, especially causing somebody hurt. I mean, at least in my opinion, of the ones I've experienced. I think it's more that you want them to know and acknowledge how much they hurt you. So it's not that you want to hurt them. See, like how, like, she didn't really stick the swords in him. She wasn't like, I'm going to make sure you know how this feels. Just watch this. Right into him. No. She did it around him. So I don't know if you'll try to scare him or if you'll, you know, front or whatever. I don't know. But either way, what I'm getting from this, I don't think you're going to do anything with it. I think you're just going to be yourself and stand up for yourself. But I think it's mostly that you just... You don't want to hurt them, but you do want them to know how bad they hurt you. You want to make sure that they know. Because at this point, with how much you're looking at these cups and thinking it over, you've realized that if they don't know it, or they don't acknowledge it, or they don't have that level to comprehend what they've done, or even to show it to you, or at least show you enough of it that they're sorry and they regret it and they don't want to do that again. And I guess the way you feel like that would happen is if, or maybe that's your job in their lifetime, is to help them understand that. I don't know. But either way, for whatever reason, whether it's just to create this Ten of Cups being satiated, the balance. What you really want from this, maybe that's what you realize also with this Three of Cups, is you just want them to know what they did. And not just like, yeah, I know, or they're just listening to you. Like, you, however it has to happen, whether they say it, acknowledge it, you could see it, whatever it is, And this also depends on their reaction, on how this has to happen. So it's not just one way, but you want to make sure that they know how bad they hurt you. Not necessarily you want to defeat them and take them out, but just with what they did. And then you go on with your 2 swords. They're now just open. You don't have to guard yourself anymore, but you definitely do have your 2 swords. And you really care, you can have those 3. Like, that's how much I'm not worried about you, that you can have an extra sword. Because I've grown so much and I'm doing my own thing now to where I'm not worried about you. I don't need to guard myself anymore from you. I don't need to take from you in order to defend myself, which I'm not sure if you ever did, but you're just not worried about them anymore. And it's like that in itself either does, or you're hoping it does, free up all this stuff that you're wanting to just then flow. This almost justice. Like, this has a justice card vibe to it. Where now you're free. That energy flows. Maybe this person, maybe even denied giving you that before. Whether it was a way of holding you hostage, whether it was pride, whether it was ego, whether it was them not wanting you to heal, whether they felt if you healed, you would go away, never come back. I don't really know. But I think you've also gotten to this point, though, where you've looked at it and you're like, I still do hope that I can get that from this person, but I don't need it anymore. Because what good is that going to do sitting around hoping, which in the last reading it was saying like how they were in opposition to you, like you had to prove something to them or show them something, or they were like trying to go against, like they were just as defensive as you were, so they're not going to see it or whatever. They were upholding their story too. And you're just like, I'm wasting so much of my energy, my health trying to show this person what they did. Like, if they don't get it now, like after all this, like it just doesn't matter. And they're not meant to see it. They're not going to see it. And I'm just going to move on with my life and learn what I learned. Because for you, it doesn't mean them seeing this as an ending. It's an ending to the crap, and you could start new. But they may see this as, you know, for one, their ego and their pride, but they may see this as holding a hold on you. And for them, this possibly means, you know, you going away and not coming back. I don't know. But either way, that's what you're hoping. You would like for them to know and acknowledge how much they hurt you and how they made you feel. But you're kind of getting to this point now where you're kind of like defeated on that line. Like you're not, like you're like, you know what? I'd rather just let it go. At this point, I'd just rather let it go. Because I'm doing myself more harm and more hurt by trying to get them to see how much they hurt me. Like, what does that prove at that point? Like, well, at that point, why do you have to show them how bad they hurt you? Like, at that point, you got to show yourself how much you're hurting yourself, you know? It's kind of, I understand, but it's whatever. So in your likely outcome, you have the High Priestess, which really is matching the Empress. So it's like now you're really knowing, you're a lot more in tune to with your emotions. Like now you're more sitting on top of the emotions. They come to you if you need it. You're more balanced with this light and this dark. Like, you're just more in tune with yourself and your higher self and all of that. But let's pull a card on it and see. Sorry this is long, but I think this is a cool reading, and I think it's pretty deep, so it's where it's going. You're also very in tune with, like, another Seven of Swords came up. Like, seeing red flags, seeing what's going on, seeing deception, not only from other people, but from yourself, seeing things that work, that don't work. Like, you're just very in that Queen of Swords energy. Tell me about the High Priestess. Yeah, the Seven of Swords before. Knight of Wands again, the Devil. And here's the Seven of Swords. So, Five of Wands. So, Knight of Wands. This is clarifying the High Priestess. This is where you're ending in the High Priestess. Knight of Wands. The Devil. The Seven of Swords. The energy under the deck. Five of Wands. Ten of Pentacles. Moving on. Maybe who they were with isn't completely out of their life. Maybe they were going to and then stopped. Maybe they lied. I don't know. I do think this is a process. So you cannot have any expectations with it. You have to be okay with whatever happens. You have to be okay to walk away at any point. You need to stand up for yourself, speak when you need to, listen when you need to, preserve energy when you need to. If you need time away, you need to do that, and you need to have your boundaries. And you need to be real and pay attention to yourself with things, and if you can't, then you need to know when to leave. Because this person has you're going to see this within yourself too, this energy. But you are going to be very Johnny on the spot about this now. And because now that you see it, like with your eyes wide open, you're going to have to see it now and separate your emotions from it. Like, listen to yourself and your emotions and your intuition enough to listen to yourself. Like this High Priestess, she has her emotions more in check, where they're there if she needs them, but they're also like not so much a part of her that she can't hear herself anymore. She has this better balance going on. Like, look how much bigger. This is how you are now, white and black. It's like so small. Like, now look at you. It's huge. Like, you've learned, you've grown. This is going to come through more lessons and possibly even more heartache, more whatever. Like, you've learned some. It's exactly like how this is. It's just that, you know, learning and checking with yourself and the strength and seeing the devil within and seeing your own shadow. She knows these own energies within herself as this High Priestess, which is now also why she also is now able to more decipher these energies around her. Which also means, too, you coming at this person, you need to come at them, like, genuinely hearted. Like, being genuine. Because, you know, they don't know exactly who they are either, but they've got those energies. If you don't come from that to them in a genuine way, they're going to see it a mile away. I mean, some of the stuff they're going to project onto you anyways, and they're going to think you're playing games, but whatever. You know, that's part of the process of them to learn. But either way, you're on this. Like, you're on it now. And that was part of your lesson, you know, to see. But part of their energy coming up is they have nobility, honor, high standards, idealistic, and faith, trust, unwavering, confidence. And this is what I was saying with the heart, like the key, because, you know, in her heart, You know, here's a key, a place for a key. So, you know, it's kind of weird that you're like sitting in front of a door and you're wondering where the key is. And here's Faith. Here's the key. Like, is this door, is this the key you're looking for to their heart? So either they're looking at this way with you, or this is just a spirit plainly for both of you, or it's like the key to their heart. Like, you're also looking at it like, I get it, I've tried everything, I see the thing, and they still won't let me in. I don't know. But I think they're trying to do the best they can. Like, I feel like they've seen something and figured something out, and they're trying to do the best they can. But, I mean, it's a lot of patterns. It's a lot of things to wrap up. It's not just gonna happen right away. Tell me about the nobility card. Yeah, like, they're going within. They're trying to learn and do the best they can. Tell me about the Faith card. They're trying to end cycles. It's almost like the same way that you're sitting at the door being like, I see it. Like, just, I mean, I think you're a little bit more of knowing what to do, but not really. They're in the same way. Like, you're sitting in this energy too. Like, what do I do? Do I start new? Do I go with what I've invested so much in? What's best for me? They're just like you're trying to end your cycles, they're trying to end their cycles. You have the World, they have the Emperor, and they have the Death card. They're looking for the same key that you are. They feel stuck just like you do. And they're trying to have faith, they're trying to persevere, and they're trying to keep walking through it. They're probably in the same type of darkness as you are, whether they see it in the same way or not. But maybe you guys both have the key to each other's heart in some weird way. I don't know. I'm not trying to romanticize that. It doesn't really matter. But maybe in a way, that's the whole point of you guys, is that you each have what the other needs to unlock and move forward. And that doesn't even mean together. It just means that level of perspective change and healing of some sort that helps you navigate the next part of your life. Like, I almost kind of get that vibe where it's like you each have the key to the other. So the knowledge, at the very least, the heart too, but the knowledge, the perspective, if it's allowed to be seen. And then I pulled cards to be like, what am I missing here? And you have discipline, training, consistency, practice about this situation, the call of the night, daring, adventure, excitement, and ecstasy, yielding, rapture, and bliss. These are really short. I'll read these just because it kind of played into it really well. You have the ability to create a program of change and stick to it. After a period of time, it will transform from painful to pleasurable. The freedom and strength it affords you far outweigh the pain you experience in short term. That's with discipline. And then with the call of the night, you have attraction, stimulated, daring, unexpected, thrill, danger, change in circumstance, drawn to the call, unknown, wish to understand, experimentation, challenges, and tests. Now, these are all seen in the positive light of things. So, I mean, there are shadow aspects of that too. You know, you can get caught in a rut again. But so basically, you're going to be put through tests and you're going to have discipline. I mean, do you see it? Do you see all that coming? The storm, the tower, the dark. It's going to be a lot of ups. It's going to be a lot of downs. It's going to be a lot of challenges and tests. And then you have 27, I don't know why I said that, ecstasy. The ability to surrender to a higher power of your choosing is a valuable experience, as well as one that could provide intoxicating levels of delight. However, in its more shadowy side, being enraptured is close to losing yourself, which is one of the keys to the ecstasy it creates. Being sure to stay in touch with your own soul and have a close friend who can remind you of who you are. So in this process that you might literally have to walk down, it's very, very important that you don't remember or don't forget who you are. I have a feeling you forgot who you were at one time. And this could be very intoxicating, but this is really going to test you in your stuff and what you learned. Stay in your higher level, your 5D level, your spirit, your level, your higher self level. You're going to have to do things that you're not going to want to do because it's what's best for you. You're really going to have to choose what's best for you. And this situation is going to teach you to learn what's best for you. And it's also going to teach this other person what's best for them. You guys are literally going to teach each other if you allow this to happen. If it doesn't, then you've got to walk away. But you're literally going to teach each other. And I think it's going to be kind of cool for a minute, and then it's going to get rough. For multiple reasons between you two. But because everything in you is going to want to like walk away from this and just leave it alone. And if you have to, and that's what's best for you, then absolutely do that. But this is really, really, really going to test your perception and how you're seeing things. It really, really is. I'm trying to hurry this because it's going to be a really long video. So I was like, well, how am I supposed to be seeing this? Or what are you supposed to do with this? And you have the 10 of Wands. Again, I know you don't see a lot, but I see a lot that like pops up as I'm moving through things. And it's about like resolving this, like burning away this old that was stuck and letting the phoenix rise, like coming out of this oppression. It's like resolving it. So I was like, okay, well, can you tell me more about this? And you have the 6 of Cups. And I'm like, all right, well, can you tell me more about this? Like what now? What? Resolve this? Like I thought we were like going away from this. Now we're going to this. And then you have the 2 of Cups. I think it develops over time. At the very least into a way where I think you guys end up seeing eye to eye respectfully. But what's to resolve is, and it's weird because Rat wanted to come up, but I didn't let it come up. And first Puppet came up. So the manipulation, brainwashing, the control. And then Rat ended up coming up again. Like, just, trickiness. Like, just you really seeing things and speaking up for yourself. Like I said, this person has seen some things, but I think that so much is also ingrained in their cycle that they don't even see it. I think it's going to take you standing up for your truth for them to see things about themselves, and then it's going to take them standing up for themselves to see things about you. So you stand up for yourself to see things about them, and them standing up for you, or for themselves to see things about you. So this applies to both. This deception and all of that, it's literally a mirroring energy. But seeing the manipulation and how it's just so ingrained in all directions of your life and cutting it out. And it may seem really hard at first, like, but I don't think you really see how ingrained in different parts of your life it is. And it's helping you see that. It's helped bringing you to balance from, you know, this devil energy. Again, another Seven of Swords underneath that. And then the Six of Swords, like rising up, ascending, working together, nurturing, coming to your Empress vibe, and completing this cycle. If this is helping you to create balance and come out of self-deception and your mind, everything ascends. And I think you guys probably do start to work together and everything. Come back here. You literally go into your Empress vibe and end this cycle. Again, at the bottom of this deck, you have the Skull. Ending a cycle to gain. Here's your legs, your footing. And so I did want to know, I did pull cards too on what exactly the Seven of Swords was about. And you got the Two of Swords. So, you know, if you look at it, you know, she's going across, but she's having to be very careful. She's having to go very slowly. And if she pays a lot of attention to detail, excuse me, because this is a dangerous situation. Like, she's literally, I forgot what it's called, tightroping, whatever, between two, like, very high buildings. It's a very dangerous situation, and it's very risky. And a lot could go wrong. But if she takes her time, and she goes very slowly, she pays attention to detail, and she works on taking care of herself and maintaining her balance, she can make it through this other side successfully and achieve what she wants. This is the little heads up to the Seven of Swords. There may be times, too, that during this, you're going to have to know when to pull away and go into your comfort zone, to regain your energy, to be in your own energy, to remember who you are. And you're going to need to know when to come to this and when to pull away to get in your own energy. But I wanted to know, just as a backtracking, what possibly changed this person's energy or them now coming to you. And they have the Hangman reverse with the Tower. So they're either trying to, let's clarify, they're either trying to avoid seeing things from a different perspective, or they're coming out of being in an uncomfortable position and seeing things from a different perspective. But the Tower may have happened. Tell me about the Hangman reverse. So, I mean, I think the Tower has happened for them. There's been a lot of conflict. They're either having a lot of anxiety or they did have a lot of anxiety. And they're really just wanting to move forward. Some of them have been in an uncomfortable position. Like I said, I think they've seen enough of something. I do think from a different perspective, but still with you, that's your cycle too. That's the whole point kind of all this, is to come together enough to see something and go away so that you could go through this of seeing it without them present for a minute. So it's probably going to come together and then go apart for a minute, which is also very twin flamish. So even though they see enough and they're wanting to move forward, there is something they're still not seeing. Yeah, they have the Ace of Swords. Like, they're stuck too. Like, they don't see. So I think they know the tower is coming. They may be trying to prevent the tower. They may be trying to prevent having to see things from a different perspective. They may be trying to preserve their reality and thinking maybe that you can do that. And it's kind of one of those things, like, they may have a rude awakening because you've also learned and grown, but not even rude. Like, it's probably going to suck for them at first, but when they really kind of open their eyes and open their heart to it, and the change starts to happen just through your guys' talk, like, I don't know. They may not even realize they're walking right into their reality shift. But it's honestly the best thing for them. It's exactly what they need. But the tower is that, I don't know if they were defensive or whoever they were with were defensive and thinking of something else. And, like, somebody walked away. Whether it was you or somebody else. And you're just going after, like, your Page of Pentacles, going after, like, your stars. You're going after what you want. You're getting balance. Another Ten of Wands. Like, they see everything that you're doing. And you're trying to, like, unstick yourself. Anyways, I think they're trying to really think of, like, they're either waiting or seeing what they want to build or waiting on something to grow. They could be waiting on them to be ready or you to be ready. But it's like they're walking away from something. I don't know, to build somewhere else or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to hurry this up. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles. So they're either walking away from somebody they were with, they're walking away from you, they're walking away from their mother, or they're trying to create this within themselves. Tell me more about the Knight of Pentacles, please. They could have commitment issues, or they could be really slow to come towards you, trying to find the strength within themselves. They could be really slow to come towards you because of trying to find the strength within themselves. And probably relationship stuff too, if they're going through a lot. And they're either waiting on you to come to them. Tell me about the Three of Wands. Or waiting on something to grow. They're waiting on judgment, maybe to hear from you. I think they're waiting on to hear from you. Or you to come to them. I don't know, some of them may even pull back if you come, as you come towards them, or if you guys get kind of closer, they may pull back. Whether it's kind of to be, I don't know, especially if it is a Scorpio, it could be revenge on you. It could just be they're not sure. They're not sure what they want. That's why you have to go really slow with this and not have any expectation of it, because they're still learning and not sure too. Because it's almost like you come to them and then there's balance and like low love offers, and then somebody starts to pull away, and then they go like with other people or celebrate with other people. Because there's something with them too, with this Strength card and this Lovers. They're having a fight within themselves. Somebody does have some type of what you would call like kind of commitment issues. So like I said, like you don't walk into this just, you have to go very slow with this. You don't have expectations. Like this is just literally you're just getting to know each other. I don't know. So it may be hard if you have emotions involved, but you're going to have to pull your emotions out of it. Enough to see it, but enough also to be like, this is their life, that's yours, there's growing. They're going to do their thing, you're going to do yours. But there's healing to go. Like it's, I don't know. Like everybody's just going to go differently. But this person, they have some type of like commitment issues. They've got a lot of cycles that are very flighty and can be hurtful in wanting to do their own things, not highly grounded. So but you definitely have a rebirth coming, and finding just that nurturing and grounding within and looking within. And here's you kind of coming out of the water, your rebirth. I'm almost done, I promise. Got a lot of pairs here too, like Empress, Emperor, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, King of Wands. Pretty sure we've had the Swords too. What's the other? And we had the Cups. We've had all the suits come up that I've seen. You've had a lot of the signs, so you guys have been getting a lot of signs, and you know there's things going on. Time to interconnect to spirit. You can look into this card. This also showed up in the other reading, but it's about alignment, cleansing your energies, looking on eating better, not being around heavy energies, whether it's people, whatever, things going on. Like you've probably been getting signs to clean up your environment internally and externally in your food. It's literally preparing you for, you know, an enlightenment, a perspective shift, you're another awakening. Goes to the past returns for some time. Violet Angel, Breaking Dawn. I did want to read this. With fresh hope after a difficult time, something new breaks through and shows evidence of its approach, and with it, your new reality. You have a good reason to feel optimistic, cheerful, and like something has changed on a permanent basis. You are on the verge of a new day. And it is in these delicate and faint beginnings that something strong and bright will come. Do not wish it to hurry up to the brightest part of the day. Enjoy this tender new birth of a time which you have long hoped for. Gratitude and awakenings, early rising, and trying new things are all on the agenda when this beautiful violet angel of spiritual new awakenings flies into your life. Be your true self. Intoxication, distorted view, overindulgence, working too hard, holding on too tight. Clean up time, your energy, release your power. An important end, new beginning. And you do miss somebody. I feel like this has caused a lot of stuff energetically and health-wise within you. And this Miracle card is really saying, like, they're coming in and they're going to be guiding you physically through this time, spiritually through this time. So if you need to spiritually or physically go see somebody to get help or guidance that's going to help you, this card is going to be guiding you to help you go to who you need to go to help you see who you need to see, to help you talk to who you need to talk to. It might even be this situation that helps you too. That something may even develop between this. Like you have love is strange. You may experience a massive surge in emotional energy, a new romantic beginning. So it's very likely you'll attract, encounter, or simply bump into someone who reawakens long lost feelings inside you and who may not be your type. Hurrah! You'll wake up feeling bright, aware, dynamic, and sometimes feeling giddy and with delight. This is very good news. Love is indeed strange and wonderful. So this could either be someone from your past or someone who has a lot of qualities like someone from your past, and they reawaken long lost feelings inside of you. I feel like a lot of this, if you look at a lot of my Taurus readings too, it's also about, there's a card that comes up a lot about re-breaking the heart open so that it can heal more properly this time. Because as soon as you have love is strange, it kind of reawakening all these emotions, you have backing off, like then someone backs off. Remember I say how they'll kind of like come in and then back off? Because for one, they're unsure. They might also have things in their environment and stuff like that. And then it says, please don't lose hope. Healing from heartache, invasion, boundaries, violated, dominance, a clear solution, collision of belief styles, attitude, energies, transition to the spirit realm. It's time to be brave. It's going to help you see things and go through this rebirth and what to change. Like literally. You'll see the solutions. There will be conflict, but you're going to be helped through this. You're going to feel stuck. You're going to have sweet memories. Like it's seeing the blessing through all this, even the hard times. You see clearly, clairvoyance. Time for change, learn something new, to use technology, gadgets with wisdom. From death comes rebirth, personal, powerful growth, what goes around. So I don't know with this person what they'll get, but like I said, this isn't gonna be all fluff. It's gonna literally be like this, and it's gonna have those moments. It's meant to wake something up in you. And it might have to go like really, really good for a minute, and then like they're I don't know, I don't even know if I'm supposed to tell you that, but they're gonna back off. Here's another tower. It's gonna be the tower, you two kind of going at each other in a good and a bad way. Then there'll be a whole lot of nothingness while things are kind of actually ripening and you're learning your strength and independence. And then you get kind of like this Page of Wands vibe. You get your inspiration back, this new playfulness back. And then here you are, you're put on this new path to your sun, your happiness, your enlightenment. And it brings you this level of balance and integration. So, I mean, there is going to be some tower moments with this person, but it's going to be like here's your level of consciousness, seeing something that brings you out of this mind fog, just all in your mind, out of this kind of not seeing things correctly, and this is about to shatter and come apart. You finally see the last puzzle that you need to complete this, and it takes you from this sad, miserly, like miser kind of card, and you transform, you change, you break through. Literally, here's you wanting to get out and see the world. Here's you out seeing the world. And you change. You see things beyond the illusion. You see the truth now. Also, third eye type stuff. And here's the completion of the cycle. So many completions of cycles going on here. People are like, couldn't you do this in like less than 30 minutes? Yeah, I guess I could have. I don't know, actually. So, last thing, which I think is pretty kind of cool. Because, you know, I usually pull journey cards too, but we'll just use the ones from your last reading. You can go check at that. The one that I did also yesterday. But for right now, we're going to do the animal spirit cards. And you have owl and you have dragonfly. So it's pretty crazy, actually, because owl stands for deception and dragonfly stands for illusion. So I guess we'll read owl first. Owl medicine is symbolically associated with clairvoyance as astral projection and magic, both black and white. Owl is called night eagle on several machine wheels used by Amerindian teachers. Traditionally, owl sits in the east, the place of illumination. Since time immemorial, humanity has been afraid of the night, the dark and the unseen, waiting fearfully for the first crack of morning light. Conversely, night is owl's friend. Owl hunts its prey at night. Not only can owl see in the dark, it can also accurately pinpoint and identify any sound. This gives it a great advantage when seeking food. That's also very much like bat energy. Like, I was gifted bat one time as an animal spirit in order to navigate, like, my underworld, the underworld. I was told I was having a hard time doing it. Because they have, echolocation. So, that's kind of cool. Owls are night hunters. Some native people are fearful of owl and call its feathers deceiver feathers. An owl feather is silent. You cannot hear owl when it flies, but its prey definitely knows when it strikes, for its beak and talons are razor sharp. Owl is oftentimes the medicine of sorcerers and witches. If owl is your medicine, you'll be drawn to magical practices and perhaps explore the dark arts. You should resist any temptation to practice black magic or any art that takes energy away from another person or being. If you have owl magic, these night birds will have a tendency to collect around you, even in the daytime, because they recognize a kinship with you. Is it any wonder that in many cultures, owl is a symbol for wisdom? This is because owl can see that which others cannot, which is the essence of true wisdom. Where others are deceived, owl sees and knows, what is there. Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom, has a companion owl on her shoulder, which revealed unseen truths to her. Owl had the ability to light up Athena's blind side, enabling her to speak the whole truth as opposed to only a half-truth. If owl is your personal medicine, no one can deceive you about what they are doing. No matter how they try to disguise or just hide it from you. You may be a little frightening to be around, since so many people have ulterior motives which you see right through. If you are unaware of your medicine power, you may take your keen insights and abilities for granted. Others never do. You may frighten them and reflect their blindness, for you cannot be fooled. Owl medicine people know more about an individual's inner life than that person knows about him or herself. If you have pulled the owl card, you are being asked to use your powers of keen, silent observation to intuit some life situation. Owl is befriending you and aiding you in seeing the total truth. Owl could bring you messages in the night through dreams or meditation. Pay attention to the signals and the omens. The truth always brings further enlightenment. So really make sure you listen. And also, it's the second thing about seeing the signs. Like, you're also seeing the signs about what's coming and being prepared. And you'll also see the signs when it's here. But you've got to listen and be aware. So dragonfly is about the illusion. A big thing that it's saying, just for the sake of time, is not to get caught in your own facade. Some say that some legends say that dragonfly was once dragon, and that wisdom. The dragonfly was once dragon, and that wisdom some legends say the dragonfly was once dragon, and that dragon had scales like dragonfly's wings. Dragon was full of wisdom and flew through the night, bringing light with its fiery breath. The breath of dragon brought forth the art of magic and the illusion of changing form. Then dragon got caught in its own facade. Coyote tricked dragon into changing form, and the shape of its new body became like dragonflies. In accepting the challenge to prove its power and magical prowess, dragon lost its power. On a psychological level, it may be time to break down the illusions you have held that restrict your actions or ideas. Seek out the parts of your habits which you need to change. So also another thing I get from that, I'd like to say real quick, is don't try to go into over-proving or catching them or overdoing anything to where, like, just by proving to be you or, like, really showing them who you are or that you could see what they're doing, or just sit and be receptive and listen. Don't go out and do it. Just like the dragon got caught by trying to over-prove himself to the coyote, you will get caught in this type of stuff, in this deception, by you trying to prove and then using your own stuff against you. And I say this not only to, like, go against them, but you have to be a certain way to also help them. If not, at least help yourself and you'll be able to go. But you can't do that if you're not sitting in your own power, your own receptiveness, and listening and paying attention and not trying to prove anything to anybody. Speak your truth. Don't try to convince people of your truth. Okay? I love you guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. Check out my description box for my services if you need help with any of this. I really love you guys. Good luck through this. Sorry it's so long. I love you guys. And that's it. I love you guys. Bye. I'll be seeing you soon.